strong defensive start to the game. You forced 5 turnovers within the first 3-4 minutes. How do you feel that set the tone defensively for y'all the rest of the game?
It didn't, but I would agree. There's 10 4-minute games in every college game, and we try to get our guys to understand that you can win the game in 1 or 2 of these. You can lose the game in 1 or 2 of these, so we really value it. The first 4-minute game was the best defense that we played. I think we were dialed in. We made some plays. Then we were a little fortunate. They missed a couple shots, but I think there's no doubt about it. That was our best defensive segment in the game. As the game continued, I don't know what Porter thought or said, but it didn't feel like a Porter versus us kind of game. Basically 2 kind of defensive programs for many, many years that have won at different spots, and tonight was like the defense was kind of non-existent. Both teams shoot 50. Both teams hit threes. We had a little bit of advantage getting to the free throw line, but they shot a better percentage. I think defensively, the only thing, we had a small edge, and we forced them to turn it over a few more times than they did, but a pretty even game defensively, and not a game that we're certainly not pleased with, and I'm sure Porter isn't either. On the offensive side of the ball, it's really 2 special performances, Sean and their freshman guard, and then it just gets down to the balance of the stat sheet, and the depth and the balance when we needed it most was here today. You guys know we've got 6 guys averaging double figures or right around it. That's the offensive identity for our team, and then today is no difference. I thought Barnes had really key plays. Some of his offensive rebounds and defensive plays were big. So we had enough balance and enough guys bring their A game offensively that we basically were able to win a 1-2 possession game against a quality opponent and a coach that Porter and I have been friends for a long time. My statement about him as a coach has nothing to do with our friendship. It's just he's one of the best coaches in college basketball. He's done it a long time at many different places. When you beat a team that you have so much respect for their preparation, their coaching, their game planning, then I told the guys, I'm proud of you today. You beat a really good coach that has good players.
After Sean's 3, you guys both had timeouts and stuff. Was that the defensive look you were hoping to get on that stop?
I'd have to remember. Is that when they were coming out for the side OB? Then we took the timeout too. In that moment, it's some coaches you can anticipate what might be coming, but again with Porter, I wasn't going to go down that road because he has a lot of good things offensively. So we just got back to basics. I'm sure they're going to try to drive the ball to the basket. Show your hands on defense. Watch the handoffs, fake handoffs. It wasn't necessarily us trying to predict what they were going to run because that's impossible with Porter. It was basically just calming the guys down. And then I think in those situations where, sometimes it's just a simple timeout of just making sure the guys understand the reality of where we are. We work on it every day in practice, a game-winning stop or a game-winning basket. And then we just want to tap back into our preparation and just try to do the best job we can, eliminate mistakes. And then just remind the guys how important the rebound is in those moments. The shot can beat you, but the rebound normally beats you more than the shot in the month of March.
I heard Sean talk about this being one of those moments you dream about as a kid in your backyard. What is it like to see him have that kind of moment?
Yeah, you could almost predict it. I was confident and just really impressed with Sean. It's not personal. He went and wrote his story at Virginia Tech. And then obviously Porter knows he's a player and all that. So you get into that storyline, maybe a more immature player would kind of take it like I got to put my Superman cape on the day, and that wasn't Sean's approach. I said, Sean, the ultimate goal here is to win the game. And, hopefully you're at the press conference after a win, whether it's a 7 assist and, average stat sheet looking game, you helped us win the game. You're one of our point guards. But tonight, because of the game and because neither team could really establish themselves defensively, it was just an offensive game out there tonight. I thought Sean had the courage in big moments to take those shots and make those shots.
He was a great scorer at Tech, but have you seen him develop offensively at all? And at least in your offense, how have you seen him develop?
Yeah, I hope so. I think, one of the things we try to really work with Sean on, and it's not easy. This is not an easy job. You're an aggressive guy. You're fearless. You're a bucket. You want to help your team win. But our team, with these 6 double-digit scorers and the talent we have, we also need point guard play. So very similar to Juju's challenge, and both guys, Sean and Juju, have been more than willing to try their best. And we never want players to not be their best version playing for us. We want them to be aggressive, play their game, especially transfers. But what does the team need? And tonight there was those moments. I mean, Juju and Sean both turned down some good shots for them to try to get a great shot for a teammate. But it's that balance, and it's not easy. An easier job is a pure point guard that has his job defined, or an easier job is just a pure scorer. But when you start asking guys to do both, we want you aggressive, but we also want you to be a ball mover. This is not easy, but it won't be easy for Sean to play professional basketball and feed his family. But it'll be possible, and I think probable, because he's a smart guy. And I feel the same way about Juju as well.
Chris, after dropping 3 in a row, one of them being a really hard-fought test at Vanderbilt, how relieving was it to be on the other side of the scoreboard tonight?
Yeah, I don't see it like that. It's not coaching speak. The TV reporter today after pregame meal, you guys spent a couple minutes with those guys, and he had mentioned that we had dropped 3 in a row. I didn't realize that. This is the SEC. It's an 18-round fight. You better have a short memory. We all kind of recognize when we're on a winning streak because other people's perception change, and we enjoy it. But I don't think of it as losing. You win the game or you run out of time, and either way you get back to work quickly. Now, with that being said, Captain Obvious, we need to protect our home court today. We understand the opportunities that we have coming after this game. And so, yeah, must win, absolutely, but it's March. I mean, what win in March isn't a must win? I guess some teams go to their conference tournament and maybe don't value that as much, but that's not us. We've always thought that you want to go into the NCAA tournament winning games. So yeah, this is March. The whole idea of must win, it's real. But we talked about this way back from the summer when we put this team together. My message today was with the players is, and you can see it in their body language and their expressions. I mean, we feel the same thing the fans feel and everybody feels. And I said, guys, don't let the stress get to you. Just focus on the defensive end. Focus on the next play mentality, not the next shot or what the scoreboard's even saying. We got to get some stops, and we got to continue to really value our offensive possessions too. But that's what March is. Trust me, when you get to that tournament, that it's all must win, right? And you're just dying to go back to that hotel to have one more day with your teammates, and then you're one game from the Sweet 16. So today we did tap into that, and I appreciate our veteran players that have never experienced these March moments, really trusting the coaching staff and executing for the most part mentally what we were trying to do.
One more question?
Almost hesitant to ask this.
No, I'll throw it out. Let's go.
But I know you have games left. You have the SEC tournament left. But when you got here, this program was not winning. You guys are headed to the NCAA tournament. What does it mean to you in your second year to have reached that goal? I know you have bigger things in mind, but.
Yeah, me personally, it's what I was hired to do. It's the conversation the Chancellor and Keith and I had, and I take that very, very serious. I never forget the bottom line, And so for me personally, which is a small part of this was the job we were hired to do. More and more important by far is I think about the players. I want Matt and Brake and others, Dre, I want them to experience what winning basketball is this month. So, 99%, I just really think about the players. But the 1%, absolutely. This is what we were hired to do. And so the other thing, just the message with the team is, Keith and I never talked about making the NCAA tournament. It never came into conversation. We talked about, making a run, which is also known as winning. And then being one of those teams that could maybe win 6 games in 3 weekends. So, I'm very happy for the players where we are at this position, but we have so much more work to do. And so, yeah, we're just trying to build this program. It's year 2. Proud of the players. The story should be the players. We'll see what we can get done here the rest of this month.
All right, thanks, y'all.